Finally TV, here we are, party people, back again with another episode of Voice of the Valley, and today I have a goodie for you. There are a few people who were right there for the come up of Finally TV. There were a few people that were right there that said, you know what, I see what this dude's doing and I like it, I'm jacking it, let me help him out a little bit. Let me bring through some artists. Shout out Still a Mess.
Still a Mess, what's up, homie?
What's up, man?
Word.
Dude came through to the crib, brought his artist through so I could get some content.
Yeah.
And then we started vibing.
Yeah.
Created a little bit of a friendship.
Yeah.
And I've been getting schooled about video ever since.
Like, yo, Gabe, do this, do that. You want to take this over here, move that over there.
Without further ado,
Yeah.
I introduce to you Rockland County's own Big Vegg, man. How are you, sir?
Yo, this has been like really anticipating. But we've been talking about this for like a year plus.
Year change, yeah.
Right,
Probably
yeah.
right after Still a Mess.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Still a Mess was here early, man. You
like
guys were here early.
The first season?
Yeah, first season, 100%. Yeah.
You want what, the fifth season now?
Yeah. You know, I stopped doing seasons after
really?
3. Yeah, because, you know, I was like realizing like, wait, my seasons aren't correlating with anything. You know what I'm saying?
I know,
So I was like,
I'm trying to keep up with you.
no, yeah. Okay. So now I'm just putting these Voice of the Valleys out there, man. But to answer your question, it's legitimately season 3.
Woo.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, man, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you,
man.
brother.
It's nice to have you. Yeah.
Finally, right?
You know,
we're here, baby. Word.
It's gonna be interesting when I put this video out.
Yeah,
and then I get the text message, yo, what's up? Saw the video.
Oh, man.
Dope, thank you.
Oh, man.
Okay, but this happened. And this, and this, and this. It's gonna be interesting when he's talking about his own video.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be extra critiquey because it's you?
Nah, man. I'm gonna just tell you what it is, bro. You gonna do you gonna do what you do, cause yo, off camera, Gabe was like, yo, Veg, you want to take this joint and edit it on your? I'm like, bro, I got enough projects on my own. You know, I got enough things going on myself. I'm like, oh, Gabe, you put your Finally TV touch on it.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. I'll tell you whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. But it's true though, Vez. You know, and you know, to get it out the way early, everybody sees that. You know, I'm always sharing your stuff. I'm always commenting on your stuff. You know what I mean? And they see that connection there. And I want people to know, like, it's not just because, you know, he hooked me up with an artist and I did an interview and then he gave me some advice. You know, it's beyond that. It's the support. It's the love. It's the, you know, the genuine want and desire to see somebody else do good too. You know what I mean? And this gentleman here has
even do better than me, bro, because that's gonna motivate me to do better.
He's brought me along to, you know, I've been in Rough Rider Studios because of this dude. You know what I mean? I got to go to the Beat Maker Challenge because of this dude. I met Chris Rivers because of him. You know, so there's some cool things that Veg has been a part of for Finally TV. So to me, it's an honor to have you on. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you being here, brother.
It's all about showing love. I mean, you put on to the next. Like I tell people all the time, like, I don't mind seeing other people win. I don't mind seeing other people do better than me because that's gonna motivate me to do better. Especially if I could help you to put you in that spot. Like, I'm with it, man. That brings so much joy to my heart. You know what I'm saying? And I see you doing your thing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We on the 5th season. I mean, the 3rd season. You know what I'm saying? No seasons, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So we're gonna do this Voice of the Valley, man. We're gonna let the people know exactly who you are and actually, you know, how you might be able to help them. They're probably gonna hear something like, "Oh, word, I'm gonna hit up Veg." You know what I mean? So let's get into it, brother. Let's do it. So tell us, man, where were you born and how'd you end up in the Hudson Valley, man?
You always start with that question.
I do.
I'll leave for the first key question, right?
Yeah.
So I was born in the Bronx.
Okay.
But you know, started there, but getting raised from there in Rockland County, Haverstraw to be exact.
Okay.
So that's really what it is. I mean, you know, you should see the hip hop. You know, the hip hop is in me. So I was born in the birthplace.
In the Boogie Down.
Yeah. You know, what I'm saying 232nd Street, uptown.
Okay.
And you know, around there, and you know, my grandma raised me. Shout out to my grandmama Veg. Word. And yeah, so that's really what it is. Just really going back and forth from the Bronx to Rockland. I've been up here though when I was like 12. That's when I started. Like that's when I stayed up here a little bit more. But that's my whole.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you always been a New Yorker. You just moved around a little bit.
You know what I mean? Word up.
Got you.
Yes,
so we talked a little bit about how you've helped Finally TV and how you've helped me personally with some of this stuff. What is it like? If I had to say to you, ask you, what's your passion? Like, why do I gotta have Vegg on the show though? What's the passion inside of you right now, brother?
I'm big Vegg. What do you mean?
Yeah,
I'm joking. Stop cocky. No, I mean, bro, I just love what I do, and what I do is like how I started. Right. Let's talk about the journey, right? Because before the whole videography, the hosting, I was a sound engineer. I used to run my own recording studio in Haverstraw, right? At Stents Pro Sound Studios. That was the mecca of my whole career as far as like music or even the entertainment business.
Got you.
Had local artists come to me, record. Like I'm talking about like before I went, because I also went to IR, the Institute of Audio Research, before it closed down a couple years ago. But I got my degree. But before that, I self-taught myself how to become a recording and mixing sound engineer. So recording local artists, just getting my name out there, and then I really started to learn how to get into that whole joint. Right. You know what I mean? And then from there, around 2012, me and a friend of mine, we started our own radio show, internet radio show called Rock Runner Radio. Where we basically put on for the underground and beyond. Keep in mind it's the internet, so we had people from like Germany sending us stuff, overseas or whatever. You know what I'm saying? People were tuning in from like Alaska, maybe not Alaska, but overseas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we were just taking care of that. So, and that's how I initially got into hosting, because I never really hosted before that. And then even in the beginning, my boy, shouts to my boy Precise Beats and Eats, he was the head host. He was the cat that really hosted and asked all the questions. Like, I was a guy that was taking care of the sound. Gotcha. Made sure things sounded right, because that's what I did. I was a sound engineer, right? I mean, I was saying my little ad-libs here and there, like, oh, wow, word, or whatever. But nothing too crazy. Like, I let him, but then he had to take a leave of absence, because he was handling some family business. So he's like, yo, Vegg, you got to take over. You got to make sure the radio show doesn't lack or die, right? So I'm like, all right, no doubt. So that's when I started to get in the mix and starting to really host and started to build a passion for hosting, right? So that happened. Cut me off if you have any questions. No. I don't want to get my guns, but yeah. Okay. So when that happened, I started to really get into it, and I started to understand, like, I need to get visuals for this, right? So I started hiring cameramen around the way, whatever, give them opportunities to, shoot the segments that we do. We were doing this out of my studio, so I had a booth, so we had like a little Rhapsody thing going on, where if a rapper came, we did an interview, then he jumped in the booth, they did a freestyle, like on some big ticket shit, right? So it got to a point where I started hiring, or bringing cameramen to come through, right? But then I got to a point where, like, the cameraman either didn't show up, never got the footage, I got the footage too late, I didn't like the footage, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me see if I could teach myself how to shoot, how to edit or whatever. So I bought a camera, and I started shooting myself, and I'll tell you, that was one of the most hardest things.
Tell me about it.
to self-teach myself how to, because I didn't know nothing about light. Like how I was going over lighting and aperture and shutter speed and ISO, and I had no knowledge of that. So I started to learn and teach myself, and sooner or later, I started to get invited to like mixers, to the city, and then, people started to ask me like, yo, you do interviews? Like, yeah, I got my radio show. No. I mean, like, you do interviews with your camera? And I'm like, not really, but I could. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's set up a time. Let's do it right now. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I started doing interviews on camera. Gotcha. And then I started to learn that aspect. Like, oh, I could be an on-camera correspondent. Sure. And that's opened that lane with that. And I started doing that. And suddenly I stopped doing the radio show because I started to get more into the camera work. Because around 2016, that's when I stopped, because that's like the peak of when videography started to come out. Like, visual content was needed. Right. So, because then we started to enter into a whole reality TV era. Right. You know what I'm saying? So YouTube was popping, all the apps, Facebook, everybody started to get into the visuals. Right. So then, I started doing all that,
He said all of that to answer a question about what his passion was, and he's had to say all that to tell you it's videography and hosting.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how he got there. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, real quick, look into the camera, tell them where they can find you and follow you, support you, and all that. Absolutely.
Well, I'm your man, Big Veg. I am your Rocarazzi Media Ambassador. You find me on everything. Big Veg, BIGVEGG. That's BIGVEGG. Please use 2 G's. Don't disrespect me. Just use 1 G. That's not cool. Big Veg, and or you can just Google me, Big Veg. Put Rocarazzi. I'll probably come up. ROCARAZZI. That's what it is.
There it is. So speaking of that, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of my newer questions on the show is, I like for people to explain these monikers that they give themselves.
Right.